Hey guys, just kind of a screencast here to walk you through some of the benefits of Edcite. Edcite is a great testing resource for your students, either in preparing them for self-made assessments or what I use it for is my test prep for my EOC. So my air exams, my end of course exams through the state. So I'm going to walk you through how to find some of those resources and how to import your classes through Google Classroom. And then how to kind of look at the data and break down and analyze what your kids need to prep and prepare for the test. So if you go to edcite.com, you can simply log in with Google, which I think is the best format. You simply choose your own email address and then it sends you in. It will typically send you here in which you would need to create classes. So you'll see a little on mine, I've already created classes, but for you, this should be the only screen. So then you would just click create a new class. You would title the class. You would add it. And then, so like if I go block 3, semester 2, I could then add my class. And I could import from Google Classroom when that's done. So you can add students directly or give them this code up here and let them add themselves if you don't have a Google Classroom set up. So just some options there. Once you've created classes, so once you have these classes, and you can see that I've imported this one in Google Classroom. The best place to search for content is under the content section. There is featured collections is probably the best part. So if you're someone who has an EOC, the best things for your students to practice on are the release data from ODE, release questions. So if you scroll down under content, they have a section called State Assessments Aligned. And they'll give you the air exam stuff for every grade level and for every subject area. So 17, 18, 16, 17, and then down here we have 15, 16. So if you then click on one of those, it'll bring up every EOY topic area. So 5th grade math, 6th grade math, all that stuff. So for me, I am social studies. And I am American government. So I would go down, I would find my Ohio High School American government PBA or my EOY. So short answer versus multiple choice. Then click on that. It will show you the quiz. You can start it and take it yourself. Or if you click the assign button up here, you can copy it, edit it, make sure all your questions are right. Go over to step 2, assign it. Choose what class you'd like to send it into, right? You can send it directly into Google Classroom, or you can just send the assignment up here, which will give it to your students in Edcite. So if they log in directly into Edcite, it will give it to them, or this will send it into Google Classroom, which is a good function as well. Once your students have taken it, you can look at the data. So we can go to, and there's 3 things. So here you'll see the assignments that my students have taken. You can see I have multiple classes, right? So I have 4 classes, but only 2 of them are prepping for the test right now. And so 54 students have taken the Ohio State American Government EOY released items for spring 2016 or 2017. So down here, you have 2 things you can look at. So you just simply check on whichever report you want. And then scroll down. You can either grade the assignment. So if it is a generated response like multiple choice, that is that's already graded. But sometimes you'll have short answers. Those are marked yellow. So you can click this button. It'll pull up all of our student stuff, and then you can go grade by question, and it'll pull all your data in. And then we can find, if it's a subjective response, you'll find a yellow little tag here on one of these questions. These are all multiple choice for this test. So you would then click on the question, open all the students, and then you could go in and grade. So a really good kind of filter and grade. The other thing they can give you is a report summary. So if you generate a report, it'll give you a couple different things. It'll give you an aggregate, so the percentage. So here's the number of students taking it. Here I have one student who didn't start this quiz. They were probably absent that day. So you can align it by standard. You can look at what particular standard was tested and then how the students tended to perform on that test. I'm not going to scroll down so I won't release student information. And then the last thing, which I think is the best, is question. So you can go by question and look at student data by question, and you can find, all right, so what questions are most of my students missing? It's a great way to kind of like review and figure out where the gaps are for your largest blocks of students. So how can you turn your 2s into 3s, your 3s into 4s, your 4s into 5s by finding the common thread of content that they have the least level of understanding for, and then reinforcing that in your review. That's probably the biggest way that I use Edcite, and then it's most beneficial. So again, feature collections in terms of content. You can also search for specific questions if you're just looking for a particular content standard. And then reports hubs grade, home is where you create classes. So a great resource just to build some review. It's great because it gives them the test, the released items in the exact format they're going to see it on the exam, right? So when a question, look at drag and drop. So it provides them some practice with how questions are structured, right? So multiple choice or selecting text or drag and drop, right? So here you'll see like a drag and drop example where you would move stuff down. So just a great model in creating tests and having students practice both the content and the form and function of the presentation of the test. So if you have any questions, feel free and shoot me an email or pop in my room and I can show you more about how to move through this. But it's pretty user friendly once you play around with it a little bit.